Good morning and welcome again to Vacancy. It's been a very busy week. I know a lot of people have started looking for fuel. And so some people are getting to work late. Some people are in fact, the people that have been saddled with the job of looking for fuel now are drivers. And sometimes you also should know that the position of a driver in a company is important because they are like your pallbearers. They're your signposts. Some drivers can give a company the bad name that the manager cannot sort out. All right. We're still here, and the program is about the labor market, the workforce in Nigeria. We have over 180 million people who are looking for jobs. And these people who are looking for jobs are looking for jobs to take care of the other balance of the 200 and something million people. Right here on the show, I have my co-host, Ini Abimbola. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. Good to have you with us this morning.
All right. And we also have our HR expert, and we've been talking before the program even started. There were issues that we were talking about, and I believe that we're still not done with introducing this program so you understand what the content is all about. And we have the expert herself, and Evie, you're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. It's good to be back here again.
Okay. All right, so what are we talking about today? We want to first let you know, because sometimes it's good to just refresh the minds of our viewers. The show is about the labor market. We talked about the challenges of the labor market. We talked about the preparations that people have before joining the labor market, and the expectations when they join the labor market, the number of people who are unemployed. We also talked about the number of people who are unemployable. The remuneration, the salaries, and minimum wage is beginning to climb up in the top burner of discussions in Nigeria, because minimum wage is still 18,000 naira.
Yes.
How much will 18,000 naira do?
Exactly.
In the scheme of things? If you put 18,000, this is not even taken out of the 18,000 naira. If you put 18,000 naira for 12 months, would you be able to pay rent?
I think that's where the argument keeps coming back to the issue that are there people that actually earn 18,000 naira. But the fact is that people who earn less than the minimum wage.
Yes.
And so let's assume you earn the minimum wage multiplied by a number of factors. You still, so the conversation we're having about maybe jam form being 30,000 naira. And you have 3 children that are due for jam, and so no matter how, and you earn 18,000 naira. So
let's be generous. You earn 20,000 naira,
or even 25. Even 25. You still have not met one jam form.
Exactly.
So the issues are quite multifaceted, and I think that we really begin to look at it.
I agree. I think that it's not enough for us to just say, oh, there are recruitment issues. What are we going to do differently? Because it starts from the educational sector. If we can't fix that, we'll continue to have unemployable people and then continue to complain that there are no jobs and no qualified people. So we really need to sort that out first.
Over the weekend, when I was talking with a guy, he said, oh, he's seen the program, great panelist, but he wants us to talk about the Nigerian factor. And I was like, what's the Nigerian factor got to do with the labor market? He said there's some people who work in an organization, and as soon as they join in, the first thing is to flush out everybody from other tribes.
Yes.
And then put people who are from his own tribe, so that he can either relate. So you see, sometimes when a DG comes in, every floor you go to, you begin to hear either a sack of people speaking, or you work and it's all Yoruba people. And then if it's a Hausa man, everybody becomes Hausa.
Quite unfortunate. The thing is, even in my years of recruitment, I still had clients who would say to me, I don't want you to recruit somebody from this tribe. And they would have their reasons. They would tell you specific reasons, no matter what, no matter how fantastic the candidate is. He's from this tribe, I'm not interested. I still have clients who will say, I'm recruiting an accountant and it has to be a man.
But
I don't want a woman.
Isn't employment about value propositions? Is it not what the person has to offer?
That's what it's meant to be, but we still have the Nigerian factor. Someone who still believes, I want to help my people. Whether they are qualified or not,
I think sometimes it's even beyond the idea of helping. I think it's about building a constituency. Exactly. So you find out people just wanting to make sure that they are surrounded, they feel safer when they're surrounded by people that they feel understand their own language and understand they are from their tribe. So I feel safer, these are my people, we're in it together. And it's a big issue. The Nigerian factor is a big issue.
Okay. There's another issue that we'll be discussing within the course of this program, not today, but subsequently. It's the creation of jobs. Because creation of jobs is tied to industry. So if you're importing, you reduce jobs.
True.
You understand? If you're majorly into importation of goods, then you have reduced
the number of people
who would have been involved in manufacturing. All right. Then we also will talk about you finishing and retraining of people. We hinted about last time, and it's major. You take about like you want to employ a HR manager, and you take about like 100 CVs, and you can't find one. So, and this is somebody who is supposed to be
come and
so what do we have to?
I think that a major issue is that a lot of people have grown in their careers but have not developed themselves. So when you see a HR manager who supposedly has 8 years experience and the person's resume is like that of somebody who's a fresh graduate, I get worried, because what then are you recruiting in your own organization?
But isn't that a problem of not updating your CV or not even understanding what the resume should be about in the first place?
One, they do not think it's necessary to update because I'm a HR manager where I work. Secondly, they don't even know how to update a resume.
So how do they look for, if you've been an HR manager for 8 years and you're recruiting people, so how do you know what to look for?
Exactly, exactly. Which is why you still see HR managers who would recruit someone based on a flimsy excuse because they themselves don't even know the proper thing to do.
So organizations should also be careful when they employ HR managers.
Yes, it's
that will drive
important.
your personnel.
Yes.
So personnel management and HR, they should, okay. The last one is the supervisory ministries. The Ministry of Labor, I sent a text to His Excellency Ngige and told him that I would like to see if we have him as our first guest. Yes, as our first guest, and his people are working on it to see that, because every now and then, like you have in Kaduna right now, where people are being sent off because they are not qualified, Labour has come to defend them. Should Labour be driving that kind of argument, or should be behind the government saying, let's flush out people who are not qualified?
What exactly are they defending?
Labour says that the country, things are too hard. So you can't be laying people off, even if they don't know what to do.
So the organization should then suffer by employing people who are not competent
the organization is already suffering because education is in shambles.
I think that the problem is, let's even look at who are the people behind Labour.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it begs the question.
Okay.
Who are the people behind the Labour unions?
People who need to be educated.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, it's about fighting for because you think you're fighting for, they think they're fighting for them, but they're actually fighting.
Like they say, when dry bones are mentioned.
You know, you begin to check yourself. So it's about fighting for themselves, because if it reaches these people and we allow it to go, then it's going to get to us at some point. And I think that it still goes back to the recruitment issue.
Yes.
So how were these people recruited in the first place? You know, to be teachers, teaching in our educational system. Of course, we know the educational system has a problem, as it were. But how were they recruited? And these are the issues that we need to. So it's not just in the private sector. Even within the public sector, how are recruitment done? How are, if we take the education sector, how are teachers recruited? Gone are the days of teacher training. I mean, teacher training of those days. Gone are those days. But if we look at it now, how are they being recruited into that sector? Even within the health sector, how are people being recruited? Are the norms still kept? So I think it's still the, the recruitment process.
But it also boils down to the fact that universities are being created, are being set up, established everywhere.
Yes.
But colleges of education are not being set up. Colleges of education that trains teachers.
Exactly.
So
what about the ones that currently exist?
How the development in those places.
Exactly.
How, I mean, have they been updated? What is the curriculum? How even our curriculum? Which of our curriculum? I mean, when last did you hear that there's a gathering of teachers or the educational sector to sit down and review our curriculum?
True, because sometimes you find that some teachers just have the same teaching method.
They've used for
how many years? Yes.
Okay. About the challenges of it, we're talking about the challenges now. When it comes to remuneration, we hinted about the inequality with women not earning as much as men. There's somebody who resigned from BBC 2 weeks ago. She found out that she was not earning as much as this, and she was doing a lot more than her male counterparts. So does that happen in Nigeria?
I think it does.
It does happen, but I don't think it's that popular, to be quite honest. Like Ms. Ini had said,
or the women don't care.
The women don't care. They don't fight for what they believe they deserve. That's really the issue.
Do they know?
Yes, so maybe in their minds they think, well, if they offer this to me, let me just respect myself and take it. But that's not true. That's why it's called an offer. They offer you something, you're not comfortable with it. You have a conversation and negotiate your terms.
Okay. So we'll be back after this break, and we'll be talking in detail about some of the topics that we've raised. All right, welcome back. We're still on Vacancy, and I have Ini here and Ivie all shooting from all angles. Okay, we have said that you can visit our Instagram page. We'll soon let you know what the Twitter page is, so that you can sign up and follow us so you can see when we have job vacancies. We're going to mention some vacancies later. There's vacancies in British American Tobacco, there's in Nigerian Stock Exchange, there's Hilton, and then Eco Hotel Maintenance. So we're going to let you know which of these ones, when we call them out, if you're interested, you just join. And if you have openings, job openings, you can send to us too at vacancywithalibaba@gmail.com. And if you have a CV, you know, we talked about outstanding CVs online, and somebody said there's no need for an outstanding CV.
That's a good one.
All right, so what should an outstanding CV do?
Look like?
Okay, so the first thing I would say is that a resume is your only opportunity to put your best foot forward.
Okay.
That is what the hiring manager is going to see first before they can invite you to have a conversation.
Okay.
So when you're putting your resume together, what you should have at the back of your mind is, how do I want to be perceived by the organization? What value should I be saying through this CV that I'm going to provide to them?
Okay.
But a lot of times, what people do is they just write, front desk, I do 3 things, 1, 2, 3. And I'm thinking, you're coming to work in my organization. You've worked for 8 years as a front desk person, and you've only done 3 things. That's a problem. What people do not realize is that you need to be very clear on your specific job responsibilities and other things you have done that will contribute to the value you're going to bring to this new organization.
Okay.
So when
to make you even more employable.
To make you more, exactly. So for me, I would always recommend, when you're putting your CV together, first of all, what do I want to be perceived as? Second of all, what am I telling these people before they call me in? What would they see on this resume that will make them say, yes, we need to have a conversation?
What value am I
bringing
bringing on board?
Exactly. We don't need things like your local government area on your resume. We really don't. People still put that. It's not necessary.
But it's the Nigerian factor that we are talking about now,
Yes.
just in case, so that Alibaba can know.
Down from the side.
Not just the real. Some will add their village.
Exactly.
Their village.
But the truth is,
And the line will be that I hail from.
but the thing is that there's still some hiring managers up till now
Who
that will
insist
still
on
recruit on things like that. But what I tell you is, don't put it on your CV. If it's important to them, they will
ask you during the interview.
Don't put it on your CV.
Okay. Okay. Now, is it okay to get a professional to help you draw up
Yes,
your CV?
it is okay. It is what I recommend. If you're not good at something, it's okay to ask for help. There are people that this is what they have studied. They know how to write your resume to portray you the way you want to be portrayed. So there's no need trying to sit on Google for 10 hours. You're not getting it. Then move on and meet somebody who's a professional. And there are loads.
But what if they finish doing that CV and then in your interview they say, so we see that you are a computer expert, and you go, is that in my...
No, but a professional CV resume writer would never write your resume without you.
Without you.
That they sit with you, they talk through everything that you have done. Sometimes it's when you're having those conversations, you realize, oh my God,
I've done this,
actually done a lot. There are people that don't put their voluntary experiences on their resumes.
Okay, that should go in
Of
as well.
course, it's
Because
still
it's all part of it,
experience.
yeah.
All those, my uncle said I should come and help him do something for his company. Put it inside, his experience. But it's only a professional person that will be able to help you to understand that and not just leave it, I've worked in this place for 3 years.
But let me take you on that volunteering. Perhaps because it's not popular in Nigeria.
Yes.
Perhaps it's not something that people really look forward to doing, volunteering their expertise. That's why they don't remember to put it on their CVs.
And that's why people also do not learn. When you have a proper job, you spend some other time in another industry volunteering, you are actually gaining more knowledge, you're expanding everything that you know. But people are stuck in their ways. I just want to go to this office 8 and close by 5, and that's it.
Okay. Because most times when you put those in your CV, as I've come to know, is that if there is a need to look for somebody who has a bit of experience.
Yes,
those
those things count.
That's true. You have worked in an insurance company before.
Yes.
What did you learn? Even though you were volunteering.
There's this. Okay, for instance, if you worked in an insurance company before, and then they now say we want an account officer for this. You work in a bank, and then they say we need an account officer for an insurance company.
Exactly.
You say, since you've worked in an insurance company, you'll be able to
have an edge. But if you don't put that, nobody is going to know. That's always the challenge. People don't sell themselves through their resumes.
Can your resume make you unemployable? You've said as much, but beyond just you not putting it together, can your resume, over a period of time, just make you unemployable?
Yes, it can. Because if you come in for a senior management position, and what I'm seeing on your resume is for someone who's in a junior management position, I'm not going to employ you.
Okay.
And I would not take go the extra mile to say, you know what, let's invite him and have a conversation. No, nobody has time for that. There are 100 other CVs for me to look at. So I'm going to look at what you have provided for me. Secondly, I cannot understand how you send a resume without the body of an email. I don't understand it. Your subject will be blank, body of email blank. Then the title of your CV, sexy girl, or my CV. I don't understand.
Sexy girl.
Yes.
No,
or your email address, sexy girl at 2000.
Okay, so the email that you need to say.
No, but we say this all the time to candidates. Your email address.
People are still doing that.
Yes, people are still doing that. I think the body of the email one is the one that freaks me out. And it comes by sometimes when, so I say to you, oh, I've spoken to Ali about you. He's looking for somebody, send him your CV.
Yes.
And they just send the CV to Ali without any, no body of email, nothing. And just, Madam Ini said I should forward my CV.
Oh, they even write that. Some don't even write anything. I got a resume yesterday. The subject of the resume was a cover letter. Like the entire subject was a conversation of I am a blah blah. So I was wondering what's going on here. Subject of your email. But we have people who still recruit, who still send their resumes like that. And there is absolutely no way, no serious hiring manager would employ you.
Okay. Now, when people say they need a particular number of people for hire, and you get an overwhelming number of people. What do you do when somebody says, when people come highly recommended? Because you get CVs. I just said I wanted the receptionist in my office, and people were sending me
highly recommended.
Yes. Oh, there's no need to even advertise. You should have just told me, because what I found out is that people you employ on the basis of man no man may not actually give you the value that you want.
And they create a lot of problems. Okay. They always create a lot of problems. Well, more often than not.
Yes. So this is what I think, to be quite honest. I don't think a lot of hiring managers have been very successful in recruiting people through job websites and the likes.
Okay.
It's always with a network.
Yes.
So I'm looking for an accountant and I tell Miss Ini. Miss Ini says, this guy, I know him, have a chat with him.
Okay.
Now, chances of me meeting that guy quicker is higher than going to a job website where there are 500 people who have sent me resumes.
So
when it comes to networks, yes, it does work. However, Auntie Ini already knows that I'm going to have a chat with him, but it doesn't mean I'm going to employ him.
Job. Okay.
So when you work through networks, as the candidate, you should also know you have a sense of responsibility of not disgracing the person who referred you.
So let's just say that the recommendation can open doors, but what you do after that
is your business.
We'll be back after this break. You know, I was talking with a guy one time and he said, it's okay to work hard, but it's not all hard work that earns you good money. So if you do soft work and earn a lot of money, then it's fine. Some time ago, a guy was complaining that he's in an organization and his salary was about 400K monthly. And they brought a consultant that came to work with them. And the consultant charged them 4 million. And it was like, the consultant just came, looked at what we were doing, told us what we were supposed to do. And that's it. So it's soft work. All right?
And you earn big money.
And you earn big money. All right? Okay. I also have received several messages from people who want to appear on this show. HR managers, personnel management companies and organizations, and people who work in recruitment. We will be taking those interviews from next week. We needed these 2 episodes to let people understand what the program is all about. We did say that we'll be taking 10 resumes on this show, 10 resumes. So from next week, you're going to be getting 10 resumes. What we want to do with those resumes is we'll read out those resumes. So people who are looking, who are headhunting, can say, I think that CV is one that we need to look into for that office that is open. So when you get a chance, please send your resume. This time you must put an introduction of yourself and not just
on a proper subject,
so that we know what you're sending it about.
Exactly.
Okay, and send it to vacancywithalibaba@gmail.com. And then our Twitter handle is Vacancy with Alibaba, at Vacancy with Alibaba, just as on Instagram, Vacancy with Alibaba. All right. So then there's another thing. If you have vacancies that you want us to announce on this show, you also send to that email and let us have the subject
and the proper job description.
And the proper job description. What you're offering and what the total package is, what the offer is. If you're looking for 2 years, 3 years experience, let us know. Okay? You have some vacancies.
Yes, we have some vacancies. So we have one from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The job is Internal Control Officer, 5 to 10 years experience. You can see all of these vacancies on our Instagram page as well. So you need to check that. The closing date is 26th of January. Then we have British American Tobacco for fleet manager. And it's closing by the 31st of January, 2018. The location is in Lagos. So also check our Instagram page for that. There's an electrician job at Hilton Worldwide, Abuja. So you also check for that. There's a storekeeper at Eco Maintenance Limited. Deadline is 28th of February 2018, and the location is in Lagos. So check on our Instagram page. We'll be posting all the vacancies on that page, and so you look at it and can apply very quickly to the ones that suit you as well.
Let me mention this. When people hear some job vacancies, they know they're not qualified, but apply all the same.
It's faith.
They apply.
It's try your luck. You never can know.
Yeah.
Okay. The fact that
they write my case is different. Body of the email.
And then there's this hope that, you know, in the midst of looking for one thing, they might need somebody else to do the job. So it's faith.
So if you're a driver, it doesn't make you a fleet manager.
No.
But you can try. In the mind of some people, I have worked with 10 cars. I drove, you know, someone actually told me, a fleet manager, he was applying for a fleet manager. I said, in that company, I stayed for 5 years and I drove 10 different cars. So automatically.
You were part of the fleet. You're not a manager. Okay. And so please send your CVs in and your handle.
My handle is at Iviechik on Instagram.
Okay.
At Ini Abims, that's on Instagram.
Okay.
And Ini Abims as well on Twitter.
Okay. And if you feel like sending a mail,
you can send to omoscvamartins@gmail.com.
Repeat it.
omoscvamartins@gmail.com.
And Ini?
Well, you can send at iniok@yahoo.com. INIOK@yahoo.com.
Okay. alibabagcfr@gmail.com and alibabagcfr on Instagram, alibabagcfr on Twitter. Those are connections, and please keep the mails coming in. And if you have the job vacancies, let us know. We have an HR expert in-house, and and then we have Ini. And so for sponsorship of the program as well, contact us and we'll be ready to talk with you. That's our show for this week. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being here with us, and hope to see you next week on Tuesday. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bad guys.